Welcome to your first edition of the Power Plays of the Week here on Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. I'm at McLean Stadium here, home with the Baylor Bears, also home to a really good football game as Aledo took on Cedar Park in a battle of the last two Class 4A Division II state champions. We had a huge play in this game. Let's go to the highlights as Jess Anders gets us started.
Slided up on the near side is Newsom. Keep your eyes on him. Bishop going to throw for Anders out of the backfield at the 20, at the 15, at the 10, cuts inside 5, touchdown! Jess Anders from 34 yards, and Aledo leads for the first time tonight at 20-17. My goodness!
Blown coverage right there in the secondary, and Jess Anders makes them pay. Luke Bishop's eyes got extremely big when he looked over and saw Anders completely uncovered. To the Berry Center in Cypress, Texas, where the oldest school in the district, Cy-Fair, battled the Woodlands in a key Houston area matchup. We'll start with a Ja'Cory Aleem 6-yard touchdown run that was made special when you consider he missed nearly all of last year with an ACL tear. The Bobcats won the game 9-0, shutting out the Highlanders behind a stingy defense and just enough offense. Aleem finished with 64 yards on 24 carries. On Thursday, Spring Westfield was coming off a 14-1 season and wanted to beef up their schedule after getting bounced from the postseason in the regional final last year by Allen. Manville quarterback Derek King had other ideas. The king of the mountain with an outstanding 74-yard run all the way into the end zone. Watch him make the Mustangs miss. Derek also had a pair of touchdown passes as the Mavericks made it look easy, upsetting the Mustangs 35-10. George Ranch in its third year of varsity play after a state quarterfinal appearance last year at the Rig playing against Pearland Dawson. Remember this name, Xavier Marks. He was sensational. Watch this punt return from near midfield. Looks trapped, but wait, what do you see? Why, it's Mark 5, as in Xavier Marks wearing number 5, weaving in and out of traffic and eventually sprinting down the sideline for a touchdown. Marks would add an improbable 54-yard touchdown run as well. The Longhorns of George Ranch soar past the Eagles of Dawson 35-17.
Nice run by number 5, Xavier Marks.
Meanwhile, Sweeney was hosting Van Vleck in the southeastern part of the state in a battle of first-year head coaches. Former Baylor defensive back Robert Blackman had his Leopards playing well, but the Bulldogs were prepared under their new head coach, Joseph O'Gwyn. Cody Erickson with a pair of TD passes, including one to Anthony Simmons and one to Patrick Haynes of Sweeney, while picking up 273 total yards. Our play of the game, though, was made by Van Vleck as a deflected pass caught by Logan Middleton was a thing of beauty. Coach Blackman says, just like I used to do it with the Seattle Seahawks. Sweeney got the last laugh, though, bouncing back with a 32-12 win. Down to the capital city of Austin to Reeves Athletic Complex. Round Rock McNeil hosting Austin High. Check out the pop by the Mavericks number 20, DeAndre Connor, as he is locked and loaded, jarring the ball loose. Number 33, Desmond Sweeney of McNeil, recovers it. How about another defensive play in this game? Mavs quarterback Hayden Cooper fires the football right into the outstretched arms of Austin High's Patrick Dowell, who makes the nice interception. A defensive struggle early turns into a McNeil Maverick victory 21-7 as Cooper finishes with some second-half heroics. Just a bit north, Leander was hosting Killeen. The Kangaroos trailed early, but check out the pass by Kenny Arnold to his target Dante Ellis-Thomas, who puts on his big boy pants and makes the sliding catch. Wow! The Roos overcame an early Lions lead with a strong ground game. Senior Brian Rubin with 3 rushing touchdowns. Killeen wins 23-20 with a late score. A rematch of the Class 4A Division I state title game as Lake Travis hosted Waco Midway. Panthers quarterback Ben Hicks made some big plays as he finds Joseph Ward on the second play of the game for a 68 yards and a touchdown. The Cavaliers made some big plays as well. Check out sophomore Charlie Brewer filling in for the injured Dominic DeLira. Perfect pass, Brewer with 312 yards passing. No doubt the biggest play of the game occurred in the final minute and a half, though, as Hicks used play action to take advantage of an LT defense trying to stack the box. 71 yards later, touchdown, Waco Midway hung on for a 38-30 victory. Hendrickson hosted Converse Judson, and the Hawks and Rockets were loaded with athletes. Check out Hendrickson running back Ja Malloy, Malloy would add a TD in a well-played game by he and the Hawks, at least offensively. Hendrickson hung on for a 37-34 victory over the Judson Rockets, whose comeback came up just short. The Cedar Ridge Raiders were at the Palace on Palmer hosting the New Braunfels Canyon Cougars. Watch out for Raiders quarterback Travis Molesky this year. Here he connects with Blake Patterson for a TD. The first-year starter Molesky threw for 246 yards, finding another target, Kadarius Daniels, open for another TD. Big shoes to fill this season for Molesky, who is replacing District 16 5A Offensive Player of the Year Michael McCann. It was a big opening night for the Ridge as Ronald Dogan got in on the fun from 25 yards out. Cedar Ridge chalked up their first shutout in school history, 34-0 over New Braunfels Canyon. San Antonio Brennan reached the state championship game last year in Class 4A for a reason. Bears quarterback Deshaun Key is a big reason why the Bears might get there again this year. Check out the 36-yard run by Key against Leander Rouse. He makes it look easy. Key can throw it as well. Watch out for him this year. Brennan rips Rouse 30-7. Let's stay in the Alamo City. Could this be the return of the Permian Basin? Midland upset Smithson Valley, and speaking of Valley, Permian with no trouble running all over Mac High. Brandon Bailey makes it look easy. Then, how about this play? Colby Robinson takes the pitch here. Shades of the old mojo in a familiar form, simply playing smash mouth football in a big win, 35-7. No, that's not the Washington Redskins. Harlandale, another team playing tough defense, forcing a fumble at the goal line against Devine. Then the Indians go to work on the ground. Watch the nice dive into the end zone as Harlandale wins it. Brownsville Rivera at Weslaco East, and check out East running back Lupe Moran, 79 yards for a touchdown in the first quarter. The East would go on to win it 41-28 after trailing 14-0 early on. Former South Lake Carroll head coach Todd Dodge back in familiar territory at Dragon Stadium as the head coach of Westlake this time, looking to spoil his former team's home opener. Surprisingly, the defense is controlling this one early on. Carroll's defense was equally as strong as Westlake's. Kevin Kramer of the Dragons beats the receiver to the spot to come up with an impressive one-handed interception. Carroll wins it 17-14. The Amarillo Sandies hosting the Dons of Palo Duro. The Sandies were flying high, literally. Check out some of these plays as Amarillo puts the high in high school football. Quarterback Matthew Ortega scores on the keeper. Spencer Simpson had one of the better plays of the day. Nice job. Amarillo High wins it 45-21 over Palo Duro. Let's stay in the Panhandle for another minute. The Randall Raiders pitched the shutout to open the season against Plainview. Randall's Cade Satterwhite with the sack. Thank you very much. Randall gets the win, 21-0. Special thanks to MuleshoeTV.com for our next game as we head up north of Lubbock along Highway 84 to Benny Douglas Stadium. The Muleshoe Mules trailed the Levelland Lobos 28-7 at the half. The Mules with a little Getty up in the second, though. Check it out, 41 points as the ball just bounced their way. That's Danny Campos to Jason Flores as Muleshoe scores 2 touchdowns in the final 5 minutes to win it 48-46. Muleshoe with the comeback of the week for your viewing pleasure. Well, there was no doubt what our power play of the week was. It came from San Angelo, Texas, as Big Spring battled Johnny Manziel's old school, Kerrville Tivy, in an offensive shootout. Steers quarterback Tobyn Tannehill, the younger brother of Ryan, who starts for the Miami Dolphins, had a monster game. Tannehill had 240 yards rushing and 280 yards passing to go with 5 touchdowns. Wow, if that wasn't enough, how about a Hail Mary to boot? After allowing the go-ahead touchdown with 27 seconds remaining, the Steers drove the ball 70 yards for the game-winning touchdown. The final play came in the form of a 40-yard Hail Mary from Tannehill to Hunter Hill wearing number 32. But whoa, pump the brakes. Upon further review, check out the angle KerrvillePhoto.com got as the ball appears to hit the ground before Hill comes up with it. Looks like Tybee got a bum steer. Big Spring allowed 683 yards of total offense while gaining 669 on their own, but the only numbers that matter are the scoreboard, where the Steers of Big Spring win it 58-46. 56. For Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine, I'm Jeff Power. That's a look at our Power Plays of the Week. Submit your ideas online to texasfootball.com.